Childs picked up about 3 yards to the 34. Richard Wood, who's the leading tackler on this football team, flying over to make the stop. As now Childs, for this year, has 48 catches. What a year this tight end is having.
You know, the Tampa team plays very loose as far as pass coverage is concerned. They have good drops with their linebackers, and so it's important to be able to throw underneath and between the linebackers. That's what Archie did that time, throwing the ball to Henry Childs.
3rd down, still 6 yards to go, just short of the 35-yard line. Manning, good protection again. Far side, and the catch is made by Wes Chandler. And that will be a 1st down, a rolling catch by the rookie across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Boy, they're really protecting number 8, aren't they?
Well, there's just a 3-man rush, and you got 5 guys blocking against 3, and they ought to be able to do a very good job. They were in a zone defense, which means they double covered the outside people that time. Chandler did a very good job of coming back for the ball. There you see Pear being double teamed, but you can do that when you have 5 against 3, and that's exactly what happened on the play.
That was Fred Sturch you were looking at, number 68, who they picked up this year from New England, who did a very fine job against Dave Pear. 1st down. Archie Manning on the play action. It's to Ike Harris, and Harris to the 35-yard line, and that's another 1st down. Cedric Brown, who has 6 interceptions this year for Tampa Bay, flying up there. To further state what you were saying, Hank, they will let him have the short pass, but they'll hit you when you catch it.
Well, here's a play action pass again, faking to Muncie. There's a nice hole there to Ike Harris, makes a leaping catch between the defensive back and the linebacker, and he's finally tackled there, and a good hit by Mark Cotney, or Cedric Brown, who really does a good job on the play.
You can see now Ike Harris with 40 catches after that last one. At the 34-yard line, another 1st down, and Archie Manning, who's just been outstanding, starting off very effectively here. Monty goes in motion for the Saints. This is Galbraith, and Galbraith to the 30-yard line. Tony Galbraith stopped by Richard Wood again. I want to remind everybody this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the National Football League is prohibited. And we have a man shaken up. It's Dewey Selman. Selman, who dislocated his wrist and had to play with a fiberglass cast. He's had some injury problems, but he has played very, very well. He's considered the key to their defense.
Well, he's a load. He's a load inside. He's like a defensive tackle playing a linebacker position, and he does that very well. But the key to the Oklahoma defense in the 3-4 is a guy who plays on the offensive center, and that's Dave Pear, number 76.
Alcoa can't wait.
It's simple. A lighter car will use less gasoline. That's why designers and stylists in Detroit are using and considering more aluminum than ever before for hoods, doors, wheels, and over 24 other applications. Detroit is as interested in saving energy as you are. And strong, lightweight aluminum is part of the picture.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
It takes the average wheat farmer over 50 days and 14 tons of machinery just to plant his seeds in the ground. Now Phillips Petroleum has helped develop a better way, a system that plows, fertilizes, and plants in a single step. It can lighten a farmer's workload and cut his fuel use in half, conserving energy for all of us while we make fine products for your car. That's performance from Phillips Petroleum, the performance company.
Monday, don't miss a Charlie Brown Christmas with all the Peanuts gang. Starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
We come back with a 2nd and 5 for the New Orleans Saints at the 30-yard line. 8:10 remaining in the first quarter. This is the second offensive opportunity for New Orleans. And look at Archie Manning, 5 of 5. In the preseason, he had 17 straight, but they still lost to Tampa Bay 14-3. Play action. Wes Chandler. Chandler to the 20, and that'll be a 1st down. Wes Chandler, what quickness. You get him isolated out there, he can cause problems.
Oh, he is really murder, and that was a typical example of the kind of ability he has. That was a badly thrown ball. It was right above the shoe level. He made the catch and still made an inside-outside move and was able to make enough yardage on the play. But you get him one-on-one on the outside, Gary, and he's just impossible to tackle. He is a tremendous football player, and you know, it's hard to believe that he's only gotten the ball thrown to him 29 times going into this game.
He caught his first touchdown passes against the 49ers, both of them for the year coming in that game, but starting to play more and more now. On a first down, Galbraith lowers his head, and he's close to the 15-yard line. Tony Galbraith, the leading rusher on this team. Mike Washington, the right side cornerback, coming up to make the stop. Galbraith with over 500 yards for the year.
Bill Kohler, that time the defensive right end, 77, had a shot at him in the backfield but missed him. But he's here again, he's hard to tackle one-on-one. Mark Washington finally got a good shot on him and made the tackle along with some other help. But Mike Washington was the one who first initially made the contact.
2nd down and 6. The Saints have had a tough time running the ball this year. They are 12th in the NFC, only averaging 112 yards a game. Play action again over the middle, Childs. Hank, they're really trying to draw those people in on that quick fake and quick toss.
Well, they react so quickly to what they see that you have to really, if you're going to run at them, you got to run at them quickly and straight at the bubbles. Bubbles meaning where the linebackers line up who are off the line of scrimmage. If you're going to run outside, you got to flank them close and then throw outside to get an angle block on the linebackers. Or if you run outside, you got to do it quickly and also throw play action passes, because you got to fool them and then do something else. Make them think you're going to do one thing, do another, and that's what the approach must be against this fine Tampa team.
That was the first incomplete pass thrown by Manning. It's 3rd down now, 6. Galbraith, Muncie, the running backs behind him. On the 3rd down, far side, almost picked off by Cotney. Cotney defending on the play against Ike Harris. And Cotney, who has 2 interceptions, has been an outstanding strong safety for Tampa Bay.
That time the ball was thrown just a little bit behind, and that was the reason for Cotney being able to make the play that he did. He had good anticipation, however, and still made a great defensive play, but the ball basically was thrown behind the receiver.
So Steve Nickemeyer will come in and attempt the field goal. He's 5 of 11. He's one of 4 different kickers the Saints have used this year. He became their kicker in the 8th game of the year against the Los Angeles Rams. And this is going to be a 32-yard attempt, and Nickemeyer's kick is good. And the New Orleans Saints have taken a 3-0 lead with 6 minutes, 18 seconds to go in this first quarter. The Saints and the Bucs will be back in just a moment.
Only one smoke and fire detector. Adjust to minimize nuisance alarms from cooking or fireplace smoke. It also sounds this warning for 30 days when the battery's low, and assures you that all systems are working. Only one smoke and fire detector combines all this. Trust Honeywell to protect your family.
Introducing a new American road car, the all-new Ford LTD for $79, with more front seat room, more rear seat room, more window area, and more handling ease than last year's LTD. Plus the power of a V8 engine standard. A road car to take you across town or across the country.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
To test drive the all-new LTD on your own roads, see your Ford dealer today.
Steve Nickemeyer, who just booted a 32-yard field goal to give the Saints a 3-0 lead, will be kicking off. Danny Reese is back deep. He's joined there by Mark Cotney. Check that, Lewis Carter. And to the near side, it's picked up. And out comes Danny Reese, and Reese is to the 30-yard line. Eventually, Barry Bennett, a rookie out of Concordia College, making the stop for New Orleans. So at the 30, Tampa Bay will set it up. They trail 3-0. 25-yard return on that play. So the first series that Tampa Bay had, Doug Williams kind of getting himself all together. Not playing since that November 5th game. They feel, though, that Doug Williams is going to be the quarterback for many, many years to come. John McKay has said, Hank, he's the strongest quarterback he's ever seen.
Yeah, a lot of people wonder why he's playing in the last game, I'm sure, but they want to give him as much work as they possibly can. To finish the season on a high note would be very important as far as his being able to play and do something offensively for this Tampa team.
Lewis Carter gains 5 to the 35-yard line. Carter had 60 yards rushing last week. He's been pressed into service due to the injuries of several running backs. And there's that last drive, culminating in a 32-yard field goal by Dickemeyer. But Carter, prior to the start of the season, was a career rushing leader for Tampa Bay, but he's lost that now to Ricky Bell, who had a good year before he went down to injury. Doug Williams far side, he's got his man, Larry Mucker, and Mucker has a first down across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Maurice Spencer making the stop.
The timing on that play, the delivery was just perfect. He sets up nicely, and watch it, he throws it right on the numbers to Larry Mucker, who going into the game caught 11 passes. There you see him making the catch, and Maurice Spencer, number 29, making the tackle. 1st and 10, Tampa.
They have some injuries at the wide receiver, too. John McKay has some problems with his hands. Frank Grant, they expect to see him before the game is over, but Mucker's seen some action today. This again is Johnny Davis, the big fullback. Davis just across the 45. He picks up 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Making the stop, Joe Campbell, along with Joe Fetterspiel. Fetterspiel, the leading linebacker, he has 115 unassisted tackles. That's number 1 on the team.
Yeah, he's one of the very fine middle linebackers in the game, really a 4-3 linebacker, but he's responded very well and has had an outstanding year for the New Orleans Saints.
Davis, Carter, the running backs behind Williams on a 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. Here comes Carter trying to get outside. Tommy Myers wrestles him down. He's short of the 50-yard line, and Tommy Myers, he is really quite a football player. They call him a skinny linebacker because he's always up there forcing on the run.
Well, he has great anticipation, good timing, reads very well, reads the run and the pass extremely well. There's a time, where you think he's going to be able to be licked behind because he makes a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden you try to throw in that area, and there he is making an interception. But he's had a fantastic year because he stayed healthy all year long.
3rd down and 4 for Tampa Bay. Williams looking for the completion. Can't get his man, Obradovich, the tight end at the 45, and that's going to bring up a 4th down, and Williams is upset at himself, slapping his hands after that last incomplete pass, and Dave Green will come on and kick. As Williams off on very slow footing here. Boy, he's playing. I'm sure it's just going to be awfully tough for him. He's lost 15 pounds due to the jaw. He hasn't been able to eat, and Wes Chandler will go back now for this punt.
Well, he's hurrying himself, as I mentioned earlier. He's really hurrying everything tremendously, and as a result, that's why he's having so much trouble hitting receivers who are open on plays.
Here comes Chandler on the return against Dave Green, as Green got up another fine kick. His first kick was 48 yards, and this time Chandler brings it outside the 20-yard line. So New Orleans, with a 3-0 lead, will have it. Dana Nofziger, who's outstanding on the special teams for Tampa Bay, made that last tackle.
Hey, nice. Where'd you get it?
Avis Rent-A-Car.
Avis introduces rent-a-cars you wish you owned, like the Chevy Caprice,
I think I'll park it myself.
the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, the Olds Cutlass, Buick Regal, the Pontiac Grand Prix. Rent-a-cars you wish you owned. Avis now features GM cars.
Avis, we don't know another way.
3 unidentified 19-inch color TV pictures, each the best of its brand. Over 1,000 people saw them and picked the one with the best overall picture. They didn't pick America's biggest seller, Zenith, or the second biggest, RCA. Over 60% picked the 19-inch Sylvania Superset. Over 60%. We're not the biggest, but a lot of people think we've got the best picture. The Sylvania Superset.
Christmas Day at 4 p.m., Dr. J and the Philadelphia 76ers make a house call on the New York Knicks. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
We at CBS are looking forward to the NBA as we have some exciting new concepts coming your way. On Christmas Day, the Sixers against the Knicks. That should be a dandy.
Let's see what they do here on 1st down. There's a split backfield, which means that he's going to be a pass or maybe run sideways. There it is. They're going outside, but that's a good way to get outside because you got to get it done quickly. They try to get outside quickly with a toss play that time, and they picked up about 5 yards on the play with Chuck Muncie.
Look at that shirt sleeve crowd. Here we are in the middle of December. Temperature at kickoff, 72 degrees. They've had a remarkable attendance this year. They've been 3rd or 4th in the NFL the entire 78 season. And Muncy, to go back to what you were saying, Coach, he's a good one to try to get outside with, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And if you can get him one-on-one on a linebacker or a defensive back, he's very difficult to bring down, not only because he's quick and swift, but also because he's big and strong.
You see some of those scores. The Eagles, they want to get into the playoffs. They've jumped on top 13-0 against the Giants. Motti and Chandler, the wide receiver. 2nd down, 5. Here comes Muncy again, but he's not going to go anywhere. Good reaction by Richard Batman Wood. He's the guy they picked up from the Jets, and he's found a new life here.
That's an illustration of what I just talked about, Gary. Is very difficult to go sideways against this team from a split backfield. You have to do it quickly by giving a toss to the near back or running right at the defense, or maybe running outside from the I formation or from a wing. But it's very difficult to go from one side of the ball to the other from a split backfield because this team reacts and pursues and reads so well.
We have another tight end coming in. Larry Hardy, 87, checks in. Muncy goes out on a 3rd down and 7. 3rd and 7 for the Saints, operating from their own 24. Manning, that's Hardy, and we have a collision between 2 of the Tampa Bay defensive players. But it's incomplete as Larry Hardy, a rookie out of Jackson State, coming in for that particular play. Brown and Cotney covering on it.
Archie had all the time in the world again. They had 5 people blocking 3, and the tight end was wide open, Larry Hardy. The ball was thrown just a little bit too high, and the defensive people did a good job of responding and reacting to the play.
So Larry Mucker goes back deep. He's joined there by Danny Reese as Tom Blanchard will be kicking. So after Manning hit his first 5 passes, he's had some difficult times against this tough Tampa Bay defense. On a 4th and 7, here's a low kick. To the 40. Breaking it outside to the 50, to the 48-yard line comes Danny Reese. Reese, who is doing a good job this year in the punt returns, comes in here 6th in the NFC, averaging 8.7. Hey, Hank, I'm looking forward to this on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Remember that 58 game between the Giants and Colts?
Yeah, I sure do. I was at Notre Dame at the time, was driving from Chicago to South Bend and listened to the game on the radio. It was one of the great games in the history of professional football.
Well, Mr. Quarterback, John Unitas, Raymond Berry, Aldo Amici, all those principals in that particular game are going to play a touch football game. And that will be shown, the highlights of it, next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, along with the world's strongest men, the tug of war, the final event.
They better have the fire department ready.
Mucker and now Frank Grant is checked in as the wide receivers on a 1st down, a flag, a little gadget play. Williams throwing, and the intended receiver Frank Grant cannot get there.
Flag down on the play, however.
We've seen a lot of that, Hank, and we've said this before. We see more gadget plays because the defense has become so sophisticated, you've got to make some changes.
Well, it's so hard to get deep, and the only way you really get deep if you have fantastically blazing speed, or if you run a play-action pass where you get the defensive people to come up thinking he's going to be run and then throw behind him.
Illegal motion, number 72 offense, declined, 2nd down.
Or
well, that would be Gary Petz.
Or that kind of a play where they create the impression that the ball is going to go up the middle and everybody comes back up to make the play and then you throw behind them. That was the purpose of that play.
Boy, those gadget plays have won some football games this year.
Yes, they have.
2nd down now, 10. Davis. Lewis Carter, the running backs behind Doug Williams. Williams with good protection. He throws, he's got his man. Big Jimmy Giles, the tight end, and Giles has a 1st down. His forward progress to the 32-yard line.
He whistled that one. That had some RPMs on him, I'll tell you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with Williams' arm.
No, it's going to take a little time for him to get his timing back, but here he is back in the pocket. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball, sets up there nicely. It had to be thrown out in front, right at the numbers, just like it was. He had to reach a little bit out in front. Ray Brown, number 27, is over to try to make the tackle, but finally Tommy Myers does from his free safety position. 1st and 10. Joe Fetterspiel is also in the play.
Boy, he threw that so hard it just went right by Ray Brown before he could get there.
17-yard pass.
1st down now from the 32-yard line. Carter, and Carter gets to the 30, and that's about all. Gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Well, Williams, one thing that he has done, Hank, is that even though he hasn't played that much, you can see his special mass that's been designed for him. He has won this ball club over. They like him. He's a very popular guy, and he has provided some leadership, even though he hasn't been able to play every game.
You know, the thing I like about him, too, what I've read about him, he doesn't get discouraged easily. He's a great competitor, and he forgets about what happened the last play and comes right back and does a good job the next one.
2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line. Williams looking, and that pass broken up. The intended receiver was McKay, but somebody in the interior of that line reached up and got a hand on it.
Yes, I don't know whether, I think it was Derlin Moore or possibly Joe Campbell, but they got some good height, got some leaping done here, and were able to deflect the ball. It was almost intercepted. There he is, Joe. Looks like Joe Campbell, 73.
Okay, Don Reese checks in, replacing Derlin Moore. Moore, who's had that bronchitis, he'll probably have to get relief as this game goes on. Reese coming in. He's been playing some tackle as well as defensive end for New Orleans. 3rd down and 8.
4-man rush, no blitz.
Williams intended on the near side for Morris Owens. Owens, the leading receiver on this team, but nothing doing, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
He tried to squeeze that one in there. That time the coverage was very good. He tried to get the ball into a couple of people and just did not do a good job. Didn't get it where it was supposed to be. Coverage on the part of the Saints was very good, even though there was no pass rush.
Neil O'Donoghue, who's been out for the last 3 weeks, hurt in the Packer game when he made a tackle, is going to come in and kick. He's 12 of 22 field goal wise, his longest 49 yards, and this is going to be a 47-yard attempt. Gary Huff to hold. 47-yard attempt by Neil O'Donoghue, and he's got it.
He pumped it through there.
O'Donoghue, who used to kick for the Buffalo Bills, who hit 6 in a row this year for a club record, just hit a 47-yarder. And with 9 seconds left in this first quarter, it's all tied up 3-3. O'Donoghue coming back from that injury, and I'd say he's all right the way he kicked that one.
Boy, that's a long kick, but he got it through there like it had eyes. It looked like it had the radar hooked up to that kick.
You know, O'Donoghue may be the biggest kicker in the NFL. He's 6'6". He weighs 205 pounds. And he got all of that weight into that kick. Sun Bowl from El Paso. The Terrapins of Maryland against Texas. That'll be next Saturday, 1:30 Eastern, and that should be a dandy. Then the Peach Bowl, the Purdue Boilermakers against Georgia Tech. 1 o'clock Eastern time on Christmas Day after you've opened up all your presents from Santa Claus. And then the Cotton Bowl, a classic, is Notre Dame against Houston. Everybody's figuring, Hank, that's going to be a high-scoring game on New Year's Day.
Yes, it will be. And talking about Christmas presents, I never open anything up unless I soak it first, Gary. It takes a lot of time.
All right, it's a short kick, and bringing it out is Don Schwartz, who is a backup defensive back, and he has good field position for New Orleans as the ball comes out to the 42-yard line. Earl Inman making the stop for Tampa Bay.
Great illustration of what an imposing figure Wes Chandler is on kickoff and punt returns. It kind of intimidates the kicker. They don't want to kick to him, and as a result, they don't kick the ball very well. And here the Saints have good field position again on the 41. The first time they had possession, it was on the 45. Now they have it on the 41.
This will be the last play now, the first quarter. Archie Manning and his team all tied up now, 3-3 with Tampa Bay. He gives off to Galbraith. Galbraith has 6-7 yards as he pounds it to the 47-yard line. And that will bring to a close the end of the first quarter. With a score, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3, the New Orleans Saints 3.
You want to start something?
Darling, you want to start something.
You want to start something? Start using Rayovac alkaline energy cells, the finest battery Rayovac makes. No ordinary battery can last as long as our alkaline energy cell. In fact, one Rayovac alkaline can last up to 8 times longer than an ordinary battery. So if you want to start something, start using Rayovac alkaline.
Get something started with Rayovac.
They're everywhere. Today's physical Americans. If you're one of them, there's a new cologne made just for you. Racket Club. It gives a man the physical advantage. It's like that terrific feeling when you know you're gonna win it. Racket Club, the new cologne for men. It's crisp, stylish, exhilarating. Racket Club. Wear it.
Wendy says it's my most effective weapon.
New Racket Club cologne by English Leather. The physical advantage.
Remember this, a Rhine wine by any other name is not the same. Next time you wonder what white wine to drink, think of Gallo Rhine.
The vice president and head coach of Tampa Bay, John McKay. He's 7-36 since coming to Tampa Bay. He's found out it is not easy to win in the pro ranks after having 3 undefeated teams at USC.
Yeah, it helps an awful lot to get good players. It's amazing how well you coach when you got good players.
From the 47-yard line now, New Orleans with a 2nd and 6. Wally Chambers is now checked in at a defensive end for Tampa Bay. Galbraith trying to get outside, and he's very close to the first down. Across the 50 to the 49, Cecil Johnson, who was a free agent a year ago from the University of Pittsburgh, up to make the stop for Tampa Bay.
They have to be patient. New Orleans has to really express some patience running at this defense. They can't try to get anything too quickly from a run standpoint. They just got to be patient enough to run at the linebackers, run right at the defense, pick up 4, pick up 5, move the chains, get first downs, and get in that scoring area, along with play action passes on the early downs.
Wally Chambers, you're looking at him. He's still coming back from that knee problem. They field another year in 1979. His contributions will be quite extensive. At least they're hoping so. 3rd down, less than a yard to go. Muncie going to try to get the first down. He's got it. Muncie with that interesting style as he makes it to 45. Hank, he seems to slide as he runs.
And he's a slasher. He's got good vision. Even though he wears glasses, he has excellent visions and a good feel for where he's running. Runs with good perception. And that time there was just enough of a seam. He saw it and slashed right through the hole and got the first down.
So the first down to the 45 of Tampa Bay. Just underway, 2nd quarter. There's that last drive, culminating in the field goal of 47 yards by O'Donohue to tie it up 3-3. That's where we stand right now.
See if he throws here on first down.
You got it, Coach. Off to Monty. Monty's seeing a lot of action now. He's usually on the special teams to the 42. What tipped that off? Why?
Well, it was just the way the defense was playing. They were playing very soft, 4 across the board, looked like man-for-man coverage. But the defensive back came up nicely that time and read the play and did a good job of making the tackle, Jarris White. Now, he's tough to throw against, especially throw deep. I think the guy that they have to work on is the right cornerback, Mike Washington, number 40.
So from the 42-yard line, you have a 2nd down, 7. Bodies out to the bottom of the screen. Wes Chandler to the top. Manning sets it up to Muncie, and as he hit, flying up there, making a bone-crunching tackle to Cedric Brown, the free safety, who has a club record 6 interceptions this year. And that's what they're known for. They just really hit you in that secondary.
Yeah, they really do. That was a quick pass out to Chuck Muncie, but the ball was thrown way behind Chuck. He's lucky he really made the catch. Watch it. He makes the catch behind him, a one-handed catch, and as a result, as he tried to get up the field, why Cedric Brown was right there, and Chuck Muncie had no chance to maneuver on the one-on-one situation that he had and was tackled on the play.
So now the Saints bring in another tight end, only one set running back, that being Tony Galbraith, on a 3rd and 10 as they lost some yardage. A blitz by Pear, or pressure by Pear, and here comes Galbraith, and Galbraith fighting for the first down, and he almost has it. Pear put great pressure on that time up the middle. Manning got it off to Galbraith. Did he get the first down?
It looks like he did, or it's very close, but it was a screen up the middle. They were in a double wing formation. They did make the first down. It looked like he did a great second effort on the part of Tony Galbraith, number 34, but they're using a double wing formation and just rushing 3 people against that double wing formation. If they're going to be successful against it, Gary, they're going to have to blitz that formation, because they just can't let Archie sit back there and throw with a 3-man rush and all those receivers getting out so quickly.
And as well as he reads those defenses. From the 35, a first down. Galbraith Muncie back into the running back field.
Play action again.
He's got Galbraith, and Galbraith has it for another first down. Now, coming into this game, Galbraith has a real crack at setting a New Orleans record for catches in a season. 73 is the record. He had 69 at the start of the day.
A nice play action pass, faking to Muncie, simulating a sweep. Dave LaFari, number 64, pulling on the play. Hits Tony Galbraith in the flat. The ball is right on the money. And there you see Jarris White coming up to make the tackle, but it's too late, and they have a first down, 1st and 10.
So the ball at the 23 is Manning now starting to pick apart this Tampa Bay secondary. He's got another one. This is Chandler, and Chandler has another first down, and he is in the vicinity of the 10-yard line. Brown and Lewis combining on the stop, and Archie Manning has just been sensational, continues to be so.
He's got all the time in the world to throw the ball, but because of the three-man rush, he hits it right on the numbers. There you see Wes Chandler coming back for the ball, which is very important. He has to leap a little bit for it, makes the catch in his hands, and has another first down. But they're going to have to start blitzing Archie if they expect to get any pressure on him. He'll shoot their eyes out going right down the field with that kind of pressure.
And they have a first and goal now at the 9-yard line. Chuck Muncie, and Muncie's going to make it to the 6 before he is gobbled up. Richard Wood, Mark Cotney coming up.
That's the kind of running they have to do, though, Gary. You notice when they run right at the defense, they do a good job. That time it was nothing but a vanilla, simple, plain handoff right up over the left tackle and left guard, both of whom did a good job, J.T. Taylor and Fred Sturt, and Chuck was able to pop through there and pick up some yardage on the play.
So they're just outside the 5-yard line, second down goal. Motti and Chandler, the wide receivers. And he wants to throw. It's Chandler. It's intercepted. Picked up by Washington. Mike Washington's got it. And he brings it out to the 20-yard line. That is his 5th interception of the year. And that's got to hurt New Orleans.
Yes, you know, they were in a bump and run defense, and I was just about to say that that's an automatic against that bump and run. He wants to throw the ball over the top to Ike Harris, who has good height. But you see, it was to Wes Chandler, I'm sorry. But he threw it a little bit on the inside. That ball has to be thrown on the outside, away from the defensive back. See, it wasn't high enough. It wasn't on the outside. And for that reason, Washington was able to make a great interception. And the Tampa Bay team has possession, 1st and 10.
All the guys that do commercials for light beer from Miller are big stars and guys like that. Me, I'm just a humble bartender. But I drink light, too. And I'll tell you why. It's less filling, it's got 1/3 less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great.
Jerry, now that you're a big star, can I have your autograph?
Well, sure, Mr. Dangerfield.
Hey, would you like mine?
Not really.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
How about my initials?
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Come fly with me in one magnificent flying machine, the 79 Thunderbird. I love its luxurious cockpit. Fly with a V8 engine.
Power steering and power brakes, all standard. Glide in great style with wrap-over roof and opera windows at a down-to-earth sticker price.
79 Thunderbird. What a way to fly at your Ford dealers.
That's one of the Tampa Bay, I think they call them the swashbucklers.
They don't look like that to me, do they? Do you?
From the 22-yard line now. Tampa Bay after the interception of the end zone by Washington, who returned it out to the 22-yard line. 28th interception of the year for this team. Johnny Davis carrying the ball. And the rookie from Alabama gets some big running room as he gets outside. Picks up close to 8 yards on that play.
Yep.
Davis has had some problems with the injury, but they are high on him. His best game was 73 yards in a game against Buffalo earlier this year.
That time they had Don Reese playing right in. They ran on the outside of Reese on a quick count, and Davis ran the ball very well. He had the ball in the wrong arm, however. He's running to his left with the ball in his right arm, and as a result had no way in the world to protect himself against the sideline.
Second down, a long 2 to go. Doug Williams, still the quarterback, gives off to Lewis Carter. He's got a first down.
That time they ran inside of Don Reese. The first time they ran outside of Reese. Reese took an outside charge this time, and they were able to run right inside of him. He gives him there you see Reese being blocked to the outside by their left tackle, Dave Rivas, and it's another first down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I said Carter. That was Davis that carried on the play, and he gets a first down just short of the 35-yard line. Mucker and John McKay are the wide receivers. 7:45 to go before halftime. 3-3 our score. This is Carter this time, and nothing doing on that play. You know, New Orleans started out the year, and Dick Nolan said he wanted to just give them a little bit of the flex, but they did not play well defensively, so he says, let's just go full steam ahead. He's put the entire flex defense in, and they've been 11th overall. So the flex defense stops that play just at the 34-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. There's Dick Nolan. And Dick Nolan's team having tough sledding here in the latter part of the season, losing 5 of 6. Here's Williams. Good protection. And he's got his man bravely. The catch was made for a moment by Mucker, and he could not hang on. Good coverage that time by Chapman, who came over. Looks like we have a flag on the play. It's going to be a personal foul against New Orleans. Gordon McCarter and the crew. So Don Reese checking things over. We'll see who it's on.
Mucker had possession of that ball, it looked like momentarily, but dropped it. The ball was right on the money, and Doug Williams is really having a lot of he has a lot of time to throw the ball. There's no pass rush whatsoever.
Let's listen to Gordon McCarter.
Personal foul, illegal head slap, number 60 defense, first down.
Well, that's the reason Don Reese was conferring with McCarter. He's the guy that had a head slap.
There you'll see it. You don't get a real good picture of it, but you get a shot at the top of your screen.
This is George Ragsdale as we come back to the live action. Ragsdale coming back from a shoulder injury. Joe Fetterspiel over to make the stop for New Orleans. The forward progress to the 46, and it's going to bring up 2nd down now and 5 yards to go. Ragsdale had an outstanding game against Green Bay. He was just going all over the place. He had 12 carries for 70 yards, and then he sustained a shoulder injury, and he hasn't played since that time.
I'm sure we'll see them continue to run on Reese. Reese is a good pass rusher, but not nearly as good against the run. They've had success running left.
You see Carter in motion. Let's see if they do it. They're going to go right this time. Davis, and Davis didn't get much. They maybe should have gone left, like you called it.
Well, they haven't really run to the right very well at all. Lois Grooms is having a great year, and of course Jim Merlo was doing a good job on the tight end side, but on the other side, away from the tight end, running to the left, it looks like that is a better place to run than it is to run to the left. And Mike Fultz, number 72, the 2nd-round draft choice last year from Nebraska, in there to make the tackle.
That man that's shaken up was Darrell Carlton, their right side offensive tackle. We have a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
There are lots of things to munch on to feed your hungry crew. Burgers, tacos, pizza pie, just to name a few. But I come for good fresh chicken, like I know I should. 11 herbs and spices make it finger-licking good.
It's so nice, nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I am Dick Riley, chairman of Firestone. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has made an initial determination that a safety-related defect exists in our 500 radial tires. To resolve this matter, we are replacing free certain tires purchased after September 1, 1975, and at half price others purchased before that date. A detailed announcement appears today in major newspapers.
On New Year's Day, CBS Sports presents the Cotton Bowl, with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame taking on the Houston Cougars. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
The Cotton Bowl, what a classic. Lindsey Nelson, who's done that broadcast for so many, many years, will be down there with Paul Horning as Notre Dame goes against Houston. Be sure and join us on New Year's Day. There's some of the crowd. What a beautiful day it is here in Tampa. 72 degrees as Darrell Carlton, number 70, is being helped off the field. He's the guy they picked up for the Miami Dolphins. He was the number 1 draft pick of Miami in 1975. He was traded for Mike Curran, who's now starting for Miami. It looks like he has a leg injury. As Rocky Freitas, I believe, will come in at tackle to replace him. We'll check it out for you.
And Rocky Freitas is no slouch either. He's been in the league for 11 years, did a great job for the Detroit Lions, and he is 6'6", 265, and a very good drive blocker. By that I mean a blocker who can block well at the point of attack.
Well, after I set you up on that, Freitas is not coming in now. It's going to be Dan Medlin, who's usually a backup guard, but he's playing tackle. Fifth-year man out of North Carolina State. But anyway, it's 3rd down 5 from the 45-yard line. Mucker McKay, the wide receiver. Saints almost jumping offside. That pass is deflected. The interior of the line deflecting the pass, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Campbell was in to tackle that time, and it looked like he might have got a piece of the ball.
Dave Green has kicked very well. Will come in again. Going back deep will be Motti, Wes Chandler. Send 3 men back. Also Tommy Meyer. So Green from the 40-yard line. 5:51 to go in this second quarter of play. Fine kick. You're going to let it hit, and it makes it in. And so at the 20-yard line, the Saints will have it on this 3-3 game. Both these teams would like to finish on an upbeat with a victory here today. Thus far, a 47-yard field goal by O'Donohue and one of 32 by Nickemeyer.
Who's America's greatest band leader?
America's greatest band leader is Spidell. Spidell.
America's greatest band leader is Spidell.
Spidell.
Spidell's newest band leader is tapered Twistaflex, the sportiest Twistaflex ever. It'll make your old watch look new, or your new watch look better.
America's greatest band leader is Spidell. Spidell.
Introducing Kmart 672, a powerful new car battery that's completely maintenance-free. Hook the 672 to this electric winch, and it can pull this 44-ton diesel locomotive, the Kmart 672, packed with power to deliver surefire starts. If it can pull this 44-ton locomotive, you'd better believe it can start your car. Check it out at most Kmart automotive departments across the USA, where quality auto parts are Kmart priced.
Archie Manning, there's his stats thus far. He hit his first 5 passes, but the big one, that interception in the end zone.
Yes, and he came into the game with 14 interceptions, and he's this will make it 15, but that's still an incredible year for Archie.
16.
Especially as many balls as he's thrown this year.
Excuse me, Hank. 16 touchdown passes, 3,166 yards coming into today's activity. Tinker Owens has checked in along with Motti as the wide receivers. On a first down, this is Mike Strawn. Strawn with his first carry of the game, and he's to the 25-yard line. Strawn a pickup of 5. Mike Washington making the stop. Strawn has seen a lot of action due to the injury to Chuck Muncy.
Yes, and he's a very good back, hard-working, plays every play with his heart on his sleeve, and is kind of a stand-up runner, straight-up runner, and as a result, he gets a lot of punishment that he doesn't really deserve to get because he runs so high, but he's a slasher and an outstanding performer.
Good man to have to bring off that bench.
Yes, he is.
2nd and 5 for the 25. 3-3 our score. 5.5 minutes to go before halftime. Owens and Motti again, the wide receivers. Play action. Boy, what time he's got to throw. Now being chased by Pear. Manning with a good ad-lib job. He's out to the 29-yard line. It's about a yard short of the first down.
Tinker Owen was all down the field all by himself when the soul around him, but Archie didn't see him for some reason or other. He was waving his hands, and it would have been a touchdown had he seen Tinker Owens, because he was really wide open on that play-action pass.
Dave Pear putting the pressure on, but again, Hank, it shows the running ability of Manning. Manning led the NFL quarterbacks in rushing a year ago, and he had 201 yards rushing coming into this game.
He's very hard to corral, and that's what makes him such a great quarterback, because he can move so well by design and also when the pressure is on.
3rd down, a yard to go. Tony Galbraith's got it. First down to the 32-yard line. So New Orleans will have some new operating room and a new series coming up. Wally Chambers making the stop. Chambers, they hope, can play more defense next year because they want to move Charlie Hanna, who's been a starting end, to an offensive tackle spot next year.
Yeah, they like the potential of Hanna, and it's unusual that a player who has played so much defensively could play offensively too, but I'm sure that he can. And of course, his brother is one of the great offensive guards in the National Football League, John Hanna, the left guard for the New England Patriots.
First down from the 32. Manning on first down to throws, got time again. Childs, the tight end, to the 50, and that'll be another first down. Cotney made the stop. And Henry Childs, who last year had 9 touchdown catches, comes in here with 3 thus far this year. But boy, when you talk about a key clutch performer, Childs has got to be it.
There again, you see he's got plenty of time to throw the ball. Good anticipation on the part of Archie Manning. Throws her right out in front beautifully. Henry Childs, anytime he gets a shot at making a catch, he's going to make it. Cotney that time was trailing, but wasn't near the play. First down for the Saints.
Kim Jones comes in at fullback. This is Motti, and Motti to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Cotney and White combining on the stop. Darrell Carlton, who went off the field a while ago, will not return. They have iced down his knee, and so the 78 season has come to a close for that big offensive tackle.
4 yards to go.
So just inside the 45, a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Inside, 3 minutes remaining, first half. Tinker Owens and Motti again, the wide receivers. Motti's seen a lot of playing time today.
He's a good performer, good steady, good hands, good dependable, possession kind passer. Safety blitz that time. Oh, and he blitzed right into the ball carrier that time. The strong safety, Mark Cotney, number 33, blitzed right into the hole. Good anticipation and made the play.
Dewey Selman also in on the stop. Selman coming back after being shaken earlier. So Kim Jones just didn't have a chance on that
There
one.
you see Cotney coming right into the hole. You talk about guessing right on a play. Safety blitz, feast or famine. That time it was feast because he got into the area where the ball carrier was running in good shape and stopped the play.
They lost about a half yard on that play. So when we come back, it'll be a 3rd down, a long 4 for the New Orleans Saints. We have a tie football game here, 3-3 between Tampa Bay and New Orleans. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Mom says Ford's the wagon master. Dad says maybe it's because Ford wagons have so much room. That's why we're here.
The all-new LTD, with more room for the money than any full-size wagon. Fairmont, more room for the money than any mid-size wagon. Pinto, more cargo room for the money than any small American wagon. Club Wagon, Ford's roomiest wagon. Since 1949, Ford sold 1 million more wagons than anyone else.
Ford wagons outsold all others. I'll accept this one.
Ford, the wagon master.
Because of a certain ability I possess, I've been asked to tell you all the useful shopping information you can find in the Bell System Yellow Pages. Names, addresses, phone numbers, maps, directions, credit cards, items for sale, charge accounts, deferred payment plans, brand names, regular valet parking, custom work, machine work, quantity discounts, colors, days and hours of business, insurance, bonding, deliveries, endorsements, cash and carry, 24-hour service, estimates, illustrations, years in business, same day.
When you need to know who, what, where, when, and why, let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Thank you.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents the Sun Bowl, with the Texas Longhorns taking on the Maryland Terrapins. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
So the Sun Bowl in El Paso. Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire will be down there to bring you that one as they go down to the border in El Paso to bring you the Sun Bowl right here on CBS. Tony Galbraith has 3 catches for 22 yards. 1 more catch in this game, and he will tie the record for catches in a season. Danny Abramowitz had 73 catches one year. Galbraith now was 72. Manning, intended receiver, falling down on the far side, and that was Childs, the tight end. 4th down.
And he was open on the play. He just slipped. But it's amazing that the Tampa team continues to just rush 3 people and expect to do a good job on pass coverage against Archie the way he's throwing. Before that pass, he had completed 13 of 17 for 109 yards and 1 interception.
1 year, or 1 game this year, Manning had 344 yards. That was 1 yard short of a club record. Bucker goes back deep. He's joined by Reese as Blanchard will kick on a 4th and 4.
See if he tries to kick to the left. He should try to kick left.
And that's what he's doing, Coach. Bringing it out comes Reese, and he's hit hard at the 26-yard line. Danny Reese, Ron Crosby, a former Detroit Lion, a backup middle linebacker, making the tackle for New Orleans. And at the 26-yard line, Tampa Bay has it with 1:45 left in this first half. Thus far, it's New Orleans that's been keeping the field position, keeping Tampa Bay backed up. That was a 31-yard kick. Tampa Bay has it in a moment.
It's 1934, and for miles around, there's just desert. Joe Jamara over there, he dreams of farming this dust, and all he needs is water. Oh, there's plenty of water around here, except it's more than 1,000 feet straight down. Bringing it up's going to cost plenty. More than Joe's got, for sure. So where's he going to get the money to drill for water over 1,000 feet down? Where? From the money folks keep in their full-service bank. You see, America's bankers back Joe and thousands of other farmers, too. So today, you know that desert as the San Joaquin Valley. It looks like this for hundreds of miles. And the food from here, well, it reaches every table in America. So the next time you're shopping and you see a butte like this, remember, you had a part in it with the money you put in your full-service bank. America's bankers, helping you change things for the better.
1:45 remaining with Hank Stram. I'm Gary Bender as we have a 3-3 game. Tampa Bay a first down.
See if they run to the left at Reese again. If they do run or throw a pass.
Williams, and he was hit as he released that football. Mucker, the intended receiver, at the 40-yard line. Grooms putting good pressure that time on Williams.
It's much better for Doug Williams to throw play-action passes on first down than it is to throw that way, and especially if he would fake to his left side, because he's been able to run the ball very well to his left side. They got Reese out of the ball game now, and they also have Campbell back in the game on that right side instead of who they had a minute ago.
Second down and 10. Quick pitch. This is Ragsdale, and Ragsdale is able to get across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Reese now is playing defensive right tackle, and Campbell is playing defensive right end.
So it's a third down and still long yardage to go. Looks like we got a penalty coming up. Timeout instead by New Orleans. The Saints have called a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining. And that gives us time to tell you about a new look that's coming up on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Been hearing an awful lot about it, and there's some exciting things. In 1979, we're going to have a lot of international events. The Fight of the Week. We'll have the 3rd annual Hollywood Stunt Competition. I had the opportunity to watch some figure skating this week out in La Jolla, California, which I think you'll enjoy. The Mr. Universe competition, World Cup skiing, much more on the new look. I think you're going to like it. In 1979 on the CBS Sports Spectacular. So we have a 3rd down and 9 yards for Tampa Bay. And thus far, Tampa Bay just hasn't been able to get any working position. They've been backed up all afternoon long.
Yeah, they started the first possession on the 20, then they got it on the 30, then they got it on the plus 49 and took advantage of it by making a field goal. Then they came back on the 22 and now on the 26, 3rd and 9. See if they try to do business on the tight end.
On a 3rd and 9, complete to Ragsdale. And Ragsdale is not going to get the first down. He's out to the 32-yard line. Jim Merlo, a linebacker out of Stanford, making the stop. And it's 4th down. And now New Orleans is going to use another timeout. That's their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining with 1:20. Don't forget, Christmas Day, the Philadelphia 76ers, the New York Knicks. The Sixers, a new look for them this year. Of course, the Knicks under Red Holtzman, who took over this year. Hard to figure that team out. They've been hot, they've been cold, but that should be a dandy. 4 o'clock Eastern, Christmas Day. The NBA on CBS as we start our coverage. And we have some exciting new concepts, so we hope you'll join us. Wes Chandler back deep for New Orleans. Dave Green to kick with 1:18. Kicking away. Fair catch by Tommy Myers. He makes it at the 35. And now New Orleans has pretty good field position with 1:13 left in this first half of play.
You know, usually, Gary, each team has 13 possessions in a game, offensive possessions. New Orleans so far has 2, 4, 6, and Tampa has 2, 4, 5. But normally the average is about 13, and we'll see if that holds true here this afternoon in this game between these 2 fine young football teams.
Hank, I want to remind everybody the NFL today coming up next. Brent, Jane, and Irv will keep us updated on this final regular season weekend of the 1978 season.
They're in the double wing formation again. If they don't have some pressure on this formation, they're going to be in trouble. They don't have any pressure. Just three-man rush again. And there he is.
This is Larry Hardy, the tight end, and that's a first down catch to the 47-yard line of Tampa Bay. Curtis Jordan made the stop.
They can't cover that formation and let Archie sit back there and throw the ball without any more rush than that. They have 4 receivers, 2 on each side of the ball, who can get down the field very quickly, and they have to put some pressure. Only one man blocking back there, so they have to put pressure on him, or else they're going to be in trouble.
You see the time, only one timeout remaining for the Saints, 44 seconds. First down call, Galbraith. Galbraith now has tied the New Orleans Saints record. He has 73 catches. He's very close to the first down. David Lewis made the stop for Tampa Bay. They have another play called. They're not huddling up. The clock stopped now with 30 seconds, as it looks like the Saints have used another timeout. They have. Now, according to the scoreboard clock, they have 1 timeout remaining. We had them using all 3. There's 30 seconds left as Archie Manning is over to confer now with Dick Nolan and his staff. 30 seconds, the ball at the 37-yard line. And don't forget the NFC first round playoffs, and that will be, it looks like, in Atlanta, and Hank and I will be there. I don't know who's going to be against it. Philadelphia, Green Bay, Minnesota, Washington was eliminated, but we will be joining you on the 24th, next Sunday, for the wild card playoffs. Atlanta in, and we'll know by the end of today who their opponent will be. You know, I was confused. I thought they had used all 3 of their timeouts, but they have 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, they have 1, and they want to make sure that they keep 1, so that if in the event they get close enough for a field goal, they can call the timeout and line up with plenty of time and make that attempt. But you always want to make sure that you always have 1 left before the half and before the end of the game.
So they do have 1 timeout remaining.
They're
Motti and Owens, a wide receiver.
Double wing formation again this time. And they continue to rush just 3 people.
This is Galbraith, and with that, he sets a new Saints record for receptions in a year. Number 74, he's got the first down. He's hammered out of bounds, stopping the clock with 23 seconds.
Very simple pattern. Archie wisely just throws the ball out in front into the flat area. Tony Galbraith makes the catch right at the numbers, knocked out of bounds, stops the clock. Jarris White, number 45, makes the tackle. But the Saints have moved the ball down a little closer to field goal range, and now have a 1st and 10 situation on the 34 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's at 35 catches. That's 74 catches in the year for Tony Galbraith. First down from the 34-yard line. 23 seconds left in this first half.
They finally blitz a linebacker that time.
Trying to make the catch. Was he in bounds?
He was out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Rich Motti tried to make it, but he just couldn't keep both feet in.
Jack Fetty, the official right on the ball, on the play, rules that it was out of bounds. And so now, there you see it. He was right. It didn't look like he had both feet in bounds from this angle, but Jack Fetty was right on top of the play and called it.
I think what the Saints are arguing, Hank, is that he was hit by the defender and driven out.
Yes, I think that's what they're arguing about, and evidently the official felt that that was not so.
Looked like White was trying to lay off of him, and as an end result, it's an incomplete forward pass with 16 seconds left.
2nd and 10 with 16 seconds left, as you just mentioned.
So from the 34-yard line, New Orleans doing a pretty good job of using this clock.
That was the first time they blitzed against that double wing formation. And again, double wing formation means that you have 2 receivers on each side of the ball with 1 back in the backfield. Here it is again.
Childs and Hardy are both in.
That time they blitzed.
This is Galbraith.
They blitzed everybody that time. Archie threw the ball before he had to throw the ball. He saw the blitz and threw the ball before he was really ready. In spite of that, Tony Galbraith should have made the catch. It was right on target.
So it's a 3rd and 10 with 11 seconds, as Galbraith looked like he would have gotten that first down and then more, as he would have been down to the 20-yard line.
Because of the blitz, he would have had a lot of running room. He would have been a one-on-one on the outside position on a safety or a corner, but he dropped the football, and it's 3rd and 10 with 11 seconds left in the half.
Oddie to the bottom of the screen, flanked out. Tinker Owens to the top. 3rd and 10.
No blitz this time. They're just rushing 3 people, and he hurried it again.
Galbraith, the intended receiver, but he was up the field looking to make his cut when the ball arrived there. Dave Lewis defending very well, and what a fine linebacker he is. They feel that he has the potential to be the best outside linebacker. Very well, and what a fine linebacker he is. They feel that he has the potential to be the best outside linebacker in football.
The Tampa coaching staff deserves a lot of credit on that drive because they mixed up. They stayed with a 3-man rush for an extended period of time, finally changed the pace. Blitz 1 linebacker, then they blitzed 2, then they blitzed 3. That time they didn't blitz anybody at all, and then it threw the tempo off a little bit for the Saints.
This will be a 51-yard field goal for Nickemeyer, who booted a 50-yarder earlier this year against San Francisco, and it's no good. A 51-yard attempt by Nickemeyer, and there's 3 seconds left in this first half. So Steve, who kicked one 50 yards earlier this year against San Francisco, couldn't get that one to go between the uprights. And so Tampa Bay holds. And at the 34-yard line, they have the football. The last play of the first half coming up. The NFL Today at halftime. So we check to see how Philadelphia is faring against the New York Giants.
See if they throw the ball down the field with a hope, kind of a hope pass, hoping they get a big play.
Nickemeyer, by the way, that broke his streak of 12 in a row. Here's Williams giving up. And big running room for Lewis Carter. He fumbles the ball. This is the last play of the half, and nobody can seem to come up with it. So the first half comes to a close at Tampa Stadium. Maurice Spencer eventually got it. As we're all deadlocked, 3 apiece. Both field goals coming in the first quarter. A 32-yarder by Nickemeyer, and then a 47-yarder by O'Donoghue with 9 seconds left in the first quarter. 3-3 halftime.
I'm the Skill Sandcat, a different breed of compact sander, a tiger for work, a pussycat to handle. I eat old oak for breakfast. With a quick belt change, I rush through rust. I go where you need me because I'm light and manageable. I'm the Sandcat, the tool it took skill to build.
$49.99 at participating dealers.
If you do it yourself and do it with pride, then do it with skill.
Americans have always had a love affair with the automobile, and of the more than 2,500 different cars introduced, one was the best-selling ever. This one, Ford Fairmont.
Presenting Fairmont 79, designed for a changing world, with lots of room for the money.
A great EPA mileage estimate for today's driving, and a range of sticker prices that are surprisingly low. America has made Fairmont the best-selling new car ever introduced. Sedans, wagons, and the exciting Futura at your local Ford dealer.
When you shoot a lot of pool and bars, you want to stay fast and loose, and you don't want to get filled up. That's why I drink light beer from Miller. Got a 1/3 less calories than their regular beer, and it's less filling. Plus, the taste is great. And even though a lot of people don't think pool is strenuous, let me tell you something. You can work up a real good thirst, even when you're just showing off.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
You saw it on CBS Sports. 1978. The Washington Bullets combine a lightning-quick fast break with an occasional miracle to beat Seattle for the NBA championship. Christmas Day at 4 p.m. on CBS Sports, Dr. J makes a house call on Madison Square Garden. The Philadelphia 76ers take on the New York Knicks. The Knicks are led by a tall and talented front line and hope to give the doctor a little of his own medicine. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Back live in New York. We've come a long way in 75 years, folks. Happy anniversary to the Wright brothers. Winds gusting up to 30 miles an hour this afternoon in New York. And we link up 3 football games. Let's get you the scores right now. Dallas leading the Jets at Gusty Shea Stadium. 10-0 is the count at halftime. Some of you are watching this game. New Orleans and Tampa Bay are tied at 3 at the half. Many of you folks are watching the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles needing a win to get into the playoffs, and the score is 13-3 at the half. Detroit 13, San Francisco 7, and how about the Lions' improvement under Monty Clark? Cleveland has just fallen behind Cincinnati. Anderson hit Bass, that talented tight end who burned the Rams last Monday night, and Atlanta and St. Louis are scoreless in the first. Buffalo and Baltimore are underway. They also are scoreless in the first quarter. There's a story about Chuck Fairbanks, the New England Patriots, and the possibility of him on the move. I find it very hard to believe, but Greek, what's the details there?
The move supposedly is back to Colorado U. You know, he used to coach in the Big 8. But what happened is that he and Crowder are very good friends, and he says, what you should do, Fairbanks, is come back and coach at Colorado. A couple papers picked it up, and believe it or not, a construction company who's building the country club made a decent offer on top of what he would get from the college. So all of a sudden, he's considering it, they say. I doubt it. Plus the fact he's got a 4-year contract.
He'll get more bucks, if nothing else, for the Patriots, right?
You know, Jimmy, it's been a banner year in the National Football League this year for the rookies, with maybe the best crop entering the league in a decade. One is a leading rusher, and the other has scored the most points, and yet another has gotten to the quarterback more than anybody else in the NFL. So NFL Today put together its all-rookie team for the class of 1978, and Brent paid them this tribute.
At quarterback, the top newcomer is Doug Williams of Tampa Bay. Until he suffered a broken jaw 6 weeks ago, Williams was leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers out of the doldrums. He stands 6'4", and he can easily spot a receiver downfield. He has thrown 6 touchdown passes for John McKay this year. The two top running backs, Earl Campbell of Houston and Terry Miller of Buffalo. Campbell, the former Heisman Trophy winner out of Texas. This was Monday night against Miami, and Campbell turned the corner and caught a jet stream, racing 81 yards for a touchdown as he climaxed a 4-touchdown evening performance. He's the leading rusher in the National Football League. But Terry Miller may be the most improved in the second half of the season. Here he is going 41 yards for a score against the New York Giants. He is among the top in the AFC. This was billed as the year of the receiver for newcomers, and these three did not disappoint. James Lofton, drafted #1 by Green Bay. He is 6'3", weighs 187, out of Stanford. He's one of the quickest newcomers in the NFL this year. He caught 41 passes for 726 yards. This is John Jefferson on Monday night. Danny Fouts of San Diego throwing deep, and Jefferson again burns the Chicago Bears for an easy touchdown. The outside receiver who is improving quickly, Archie Manning's threat, Wes Chandler of the New Orleans Saints. Watch the screen pass as Chandler turns it on against the San Francisco 49ers with a beautiful spin move. He goes in for the score. Chandler is only 5'11", weighs 185, and he's always a threat to return kickoffs, too. Speaking of return men, a former teammate of Chandler's out of Florida, Tony Green, was the top man on punts and kickoffs. Watch Green bobble this punt by the Philadelphia Eagles. Then regain his composure, beat the first would-be tackler, find a hole in the middle, then cut to the right side, pick up a convoy of blockers, and score easily. He was one of the biggest surprises for Jack Pardee's Washington Redskins this year. The top offensive lineman would be Chris Ward of the New York Jets. The Jets, the most improved offensive team in the NFL. For defensive linemen, Bubba Baker of the Detroit Lions. He led the National Football League in sacks, 6'6", 260 pounds. A total of 23 sacks by Baker this year. He is out of Colorado State. At linebackers, 3 rookies who stood out all year. Reggie Wilkes of Philadelphia, Mike Hunt of Green Bay, and Danny Buns of San Francisco. Watch Wilkes in action here against the New York Giants. Rookie defensive backs. Ron Johnson became the first newcomer to break into the Steelers lineup since 1974. Here he is against Brian Sipe and the Cleveland Browns, coming up quickly to make an aggressive tackle. The 2 top rookie kickers, Timmy Mazzetti of Atlanta, the Cinderella man in the league, and Frank Carell of the Los Angeles Rams. He leads the National Football League in scoring with 111 points. An impressive crop of newcomers for the National Football League in 1978. And next year we hear a flock of outstanding running backs coming into the league. And the NFL Today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
Monday, don't miss a Charlie Brown Christmas with all the Peanuts gang. Starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
This is CBS.
All right, Atlanta and St. Louis are still scoreless, and Irv and I now are going to check into some of the highlights. We're going to start you off with Dallas against the New York Jets. Those of you in New York realize that we've got some bad wind. Look at the light standards at Shea Stadium. It's been gusting up to 30 miles an hour. And Irv, we get Danny White to Tony Hill here.
Of course, Tony Hill's a big play player for the Cowboys and has been since he took over that starting spot this summer.
Tony Dorsett, Irv, then was able to weave his way into the end zone for their first touchdown. That made it 7-0. Here's Matt Robinson and Mickey Schuler, and Aaron Kyle will get it.
You know, Aaron Kyle's made 2 big plays the first half. He intercepted the pass, and here he picks up this fumble for another turnover.
Now the Giants in Philadelphia, and here's the key man so far, Irv, Wilbert Montgomery.
Wilbert Montgomery scored 76 touchdowns in college at Abilene Christian. He's setting all kinds of rushing records now for the Eagles.
Here he is again, in for the score. Missed extra point, it was 6-0. Hey, here's Jaworski going long to Carmichael.
Old alley-oop pass. Carmichael 6'8", get the ball up high. Nobody can get it but Harold, and he does. It's a big play.
Irv, then Montgomery was able to score again. It's now 13-3. But how is Montgomery? You said he was banged up in the first half.
Yeah, he was hit in the face and went out for a couple of plays. He came back, though, finished the second half, and will probably the second quarter, and we'll start the second half.
All right, another game underway. You're looking at San Francisco and Detroit. Here's Steve DeBerg going off to Freddie Solomon. Solomon has been disappointing this year. That time he was able to get it on the second grab. 3-0 Lions leading at the time. DeBerg now to Jack Steptoe. All alone behind the secondary. It was 7-3. DeBerg injured. Scott Bull then in the game. John Woodcock recovered that fumble for Detroit. Here's Irv's Player of the Week from last Sunday handing off. And Dexter Bussey goes in. 13-7 now. Detroit leads. And we will send you back to the stadiums where we're watching the games. And, of course, we've got a big doubleheader coming up on CBS. And if time permits, we'll see you afterwards. Have a nice afternoon. Rick, what were you saying?
And welcome back to Tampa Stadium. We have a halftime score, 3-3 between the Saints and the Buccaneers, a game that statistically New Orleans is dominating in this first half of play, but the big play thus far in that first half, an interception in the end zone by Mike Washington of an Archie Manning pass. Be back in a moment.
Take any razor available in America. Now there's an electric shaver that will shave as close or your money back. The Remington XLR. Remington can guarantee a close shave because of our unique 3-part system. The first head shaves close, the second closer. The exclusive Intercept cutter is designed to shave longer hairs. The Remington XLR. It shaves as close as a blade or your money back. Available at over 1,300 Kmart stores across the USA.
This is one of the most advanced motor cars ever built, and it's equipped with one of the most advanced car stereos ever built. It's by Craig. Who else? A power play cassette system, AM/FM road-rated receiver with digital station readout that becomes an electronic digital clock when the radio is off. And it's designed to fit virtually anything you could drive. The DeLorean sports car is not available yet, but the Craig stereo is. Just see your Craig dealer. Who else?
You make some important decisions when you're in high school. Here's where I chose to make football a part of my life. As a teenager, you'll be making a decision on using or not using alcohol. The best way to make a responsible decision is to know the facts. You can get them in this booklet. Write to Education Commission of the States, Box 687, Denver, Colorado. Make a responsible decision and you'll be a winner in the biggest game of all, life.
Competition in sports is tough, but competition for jobs is a lot tougher. Get ready for the big game of life. Learn a skill that'll help prepare you for the playoffs for a well-paying job. The Job Corps teaches you skills that'll help you get that job. You'll even be paid while you learn, with free room, board, and medical care. If you're between 16 and 21 years old, check out the Job Corps. Call your state employment service. Your big game is about to start.